So to start my project, I'm going to first explain what computer programmers do. So with the median salary of $80,000 a year, a computer programmer creates the code for software applications and operating systems. After a software developer designs a computer program, the programmer writes codes that converts into a set of design and instructions that a computer can follow. They test the program to look for errors and then rewrite it until it's error-free. The programmer continues to evaluate the programs that are in use, making updates and adjustments as needed. Next, I'm going to be touching on why this is also important. So, computer programming is important today because so much of our world is automated that we need to be able to control the interactions between people and machines. And since computers and machines are able to do things these days so efficiently, accurately, and precisely, we use these programs to harness that computing power. Leading me to my next point of when a person becomes experienced in programs, then there are really no limits to personal growth and income. Programming or coding is important to create software and applications that help computer and mobile users in daily life. So, due to all of these reasons, it is really important to learn how to use programming languages in our daily life. Now, I'm going to be speaking on how all of this came to be. So, in the 20th century, we as a society were less ambitious in what we aim for, especially in the field of technology. Or to be fair, we still aimed very high, but what we thought was very high at the time would today be seen as largely unacceptable. Up until 1984, no computer on the general market had what anyone would remotely recognize as a graphical interface, and when it finally came, it was incredibly slow and low resolution and black and white. Here on your screens, you're seeing the first electronic computer called the ENIAC. This was invented nearly 4 decades into the 20th century, and these early machines were so large that it was almost laughable, being capable of only the most basic task, especially in comparison to today's tiny handhelds that are used for word processing, storage, delivery of documents and images, inventory management, and remote access to workers to central offices. Programmable devices of all sorts have come to pervade modern society to such a degree that future generations may well designate the 20th century to be known as the computer age. What you're looking at now is the specification of a stored program computer. It was called the Manchester Baby, and it was the world's first modern computer, and it was built to test if a single vital component, the CTR store, would work as a computer memory. This took place in 1945 when two mathematicians named Briton Alan Turing and Hungarian John von Neumann would work independently on the specifications of a stored program computer. Von Neumann writes documents describing a computer on which data and programs can be stored. Turing publishes a paper on automatic computing engines based on a principle of speed and memory. The reason behind this was to be able to statistically show steady pictures and have all the information be able to be changed at electronic speeds. Even though this machine itself took 52 minutes and ran through a staggering 3.5 million calculations before it even got to the correct answer. Next, I'm going to be talking about how this really all did change our lives forever. The Baby was the first working machine to contain all of the elements essential to a modern electronic computer, and as soon as the Baby had demonstrated the feasibility of its design, a project was initiated at a university to develop this into a more usable computer, which was later on named the Manchester Mark I. The Manchester Mark I quickly became the world's first available general-purpose computer, leading to a ginormous domino effect of technological advancements. Next, I'm going to be touching on my prediction for the 21st century, which has a lot to do with security concerns. I believe there will always be a constant battle between hacking and protecting. LOT is a growing technological concept. This piece of technology has already made it to the market, although it is in a limited form. Any smart device, just like a computer or machine, can be hacked into, so security LOT devices is as important as their deployment, or else we will have to face some serious consequences, as our nation recently experienced in the form of a North Korean hacker charged for trying to break into our country's software, and a 16-year-old hacking into Apple servers to access customer data. Programmers need to develop
suspicious activity-proof algorithms for LOT devices. Failing to do so will not only make the devices vulnerable to unintended use, but also put our entire system at risk, which is why the growth in the LOT market is concerned about its safety. To briefly recap on my project, it is for these reasons why I believe computer programming was the most influential thing to happen in the 20th and 21st century. I hope you all enjoyed my project, and I hope you had an amazing end to your first semester.